Good morning, all of you. So we are here now to have a special session on COVID-19 solutions using AI. Now I request Dr. Raman Mani, Professor and Head, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, to welcome our VC sir and other participants also.
Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. B.S. Gumman, Dean Academic Affairs Dr. G.S. Batra, distinguished guests, university officials, delegates, participants, and dear students. Very good morning to all of you. Hope you all are fine in this challenging time of COVID-19 outbreak. On behalf of the ICAML 2020 committee, I am honored and delighted to welcome to the special session on capabilities of AI and machine learning to propose various solutions for COVID-19 scenario during the first international conference on applications of AI and machine learning organized by the Department of CSC Punjabi University Patiala. Now this special session is being organized to have discussion on how artificial intelligence and machine learning application can be used for developing cost-effective solutions to prevent and control spread of coronavirus. Since solutions are required for large-scale population, so these solutions should be cost-effective. I hope this session will generate some innovative ideas to find the solutions. Now I request Dr. Regina Mani, SMO Punjabi University Patiala, to enlighten us about the medical aspects on how to prevent and control outbreak of coronavirus so that engineering community can develop solutions for this. Now, Dr. Regina Mani, SMO Punjabi University Patiala.
Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. B.S. Gumman, respected Dean Academic Affairs Dr. G.S. Batra, Head Department of Computer Science and Engineering, organizing secretaries of the conference, faculty members, and dear participants. As we all know, world is passing through very tough phase of corona pandemic. Today we are here to discuss about the application of artificial intelligence in control of COVID-19. I would like to share my ideas which will be helpful for you all. As per our clinical experience, we have seen that approximately 5 ml of sanitizer is required for sanitizing our hands one time. So we can design one hand-free automated robotic or machine which will provide the required amount of sanitizer when a person comes near to it. Similarly, we can have smart sinks to control soap and water flow for the proper hand washing. We all know that wearing of mask is compulsory now in public places. So we can think of sensors in the public place which will detect persons entering without mask by giving signals for the quick action. Social distancing is required and minimum 1 meter to 2 meter distance must be there between two individuals. So a small project or sensor can be made to implement this social distancing, like it gives beep when the distance between two individuals is less than required. Sensors can be used in the shops, banks, offices, and commercial apartments to control the overcrowding of people. Temperature sensing wearables or smart rings can be used to monitor coronavirus patients and the healthcare workers to track their own temperature. Contact tracking app can be developed on smartphones to find and trace the people who came in contact with the corona positive patient to break the chain. Sensors can be fixed outside offices and homes to allow hand-free door opening. Sensors can be fixed outside houses for the hand-free doorbells, etc. Hand-free thermal scanners can be fixed at the entry points of the offices and commercial establishments. I hope these ideas will help the young engineers and researchers to design and develop small projects and robotics which will help the society and the health workers in prevention and control of coronavirus. I thank you all for giving me an opportunity to share my views. Before concluding, just a small revision: be safe, remain at home, avoid going in crowds, put on a mask every time you go out, wash your hands regularly with soap and water. I wish you all a very safe, happy, and healthy time ahead. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the valuable suggestions. I hope we all should follow social distancing measures and other things which help to prevent coronavirus spread. So now I would like to invite our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. B.S. Ghumman, to share his viewpoint about this. Dr. B.S. Ghumman.
Good morning, friends. Dear Dr. G.S. Batra ji, Dean Academic Affairs, Dr. Raman Maniji, Head Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Dr. Rangina Mani, SMO Punjab University Patiala, Dr. Pandari, dear delegates and students. First of all, I am delighted and happy to announce that yesterday we had a video conferencing with Punjab government, and I requested Dr. Mani to organize a special session on this, and he did it so quickly. This means this university is in the delivery mode, and I'm confident that after this session, some deliverables will be available to the patients as well as healthcare workers and so on and so forth. Let me firstly give you the background. Yesterday, Shri Anurag Verma ji, Principal Secretary Technical Education, convened a meeting on the suggestion of CMO office as well as MLA, one of the MLA, that coronavirus is most contagious disease, and hence wherever there is a human interface, we should bring in automation. That if we can bring automation and reduce the human interface, then we can contain this coronavirus so far as the spread is concerned. AI and machine learning, I think the most suitable platform to suggest devices about reducing the human interface of the patient with doctors, with nurses, with relatives, and with other service delivery manpower. This special session has been convened the way Dr. Rangina Mani shared with us that what the community expects from us, what the doctors, nurses, security forces, cleaners expect from us. In brief, there's a process of testing positive until the patient is cured. In the entire process, in the entire chain, at each stage there's a human interface. And here, the engineers, scientists, even other scholars from other disciplines can join hands that how we can reduce this human interface, or if the human interface is unavoidable in certain cases, then how we can develop safeguards. For example, Dr. Rangina Mani was talking about sensors. Therefore, you as a community of engineers are expected to come to the rescue of the society and tailor your projects and research as per society needs, because it's a global phenomenon. The entire globe is in the grip of coronavirus. Everywhere R&D efforts are on to get rid of this coronavirus. And Punjabi University, being a leading university and having very reputed engineering departments, therefore, through this special session, I appeal to the engineering community, especially students and researchers, to come up to the expectation of the society and develop devices with the help of which we can make service delivery better, as well as save human human beings who are having interface with the patient. See, but I'm saying that this fear psychosis should go to the background in case we bring automation. If the machine does everything, we have to just, because when I attended this video conferencing, during that video conferencing, a lot many projects which are developed by Thapar and other PTU and PTU Bathinda, and also Guru Nanak Dev Engineering College, they were discussed at length. At that time, I thought, let me also put this proposal before my engineering community, that how they can engage themselves in this process. See, this is a challenge. This is an immediate need. We can't think and relax on this issue. If a couple of days earlier, we have shifted our technology from lab to market. Similarly, quick devices are required which can be shifted to market. Let Rajendra Hospital also appreciate that here is a Punjab Institute, here are departments of engineering, they have developed these devices and are very, very useful to us. I need that sort of feedback from the doctors, from the nurses, from the security forces and cleaners and so on. It's not only that doctors, nurses need your service, cleaners need your service. That how you can automate, how you can reduce them, because they are going to those washrooms very frequently where patients are going. Therefore, it's a process. Wherever there's an interface, your intervention is required. Where is the interface, your devices are required. When you will conclude at 2 p.m., Dr. Mani, I would be expecting from you some solutions. Therefore, don't miss this session while we are concluding at 2 p.m. Therefore, your job starts now, and your job is a challenging one. You open all the gates, invite the ideas. This is the purpose of a university. University is a platform where all ideas are invited. They merge together. Based upon that merging, we can develop a product, we can develop a device, we can develop a service. Therefore, over to Dr. Mani, delegates of this international conference, all the engineering departments, all the science departments, including health center, let us join hands. Let us come to the service of humanity. If we do so, I think that would be best success benchmarking of your conference, because I promised to the government that something will be coming out of this, because you're the most suitable platform. AI, artificial intelligence and machine learning. No other golden opportunity, no other platform was available to me. I promised yesterday, delivered today. Now, Dr. Mani, this is your job to deliver at 2 p.m. And with these opening remarks, I convey my gratitude to Dr. Mani and his colleagues that they were so quick to translate this idea in the form of a special session. And as they have translated the idea to a special session, I'm confident that this session will be made. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for such kind words. And I, on behalf of the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, assure you that after discussion on these topics of AI and machine learning in this session, definitely we will come with some concrete models and real solutions in the epidemic of COVID-19. So thank you for having faith on us. Definitely, we will not let you down and will keep you your promise and definitely provide some solutions to you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
So now we will start the interaction with the students. Yesterday, we made some group of the students who were very hopeful that they will develop some solutions. Now students will, some students, they are joined and they want to share some ideas. Please, anybody who wants to share, please come forward.
So, being an organizing secretary of ICML 2020, first of all, I would like to share certain points about this COVID pandemic. Sir, I'm happy to share with you that we have at least 20 to 25 research papers on disease detection and prediction in our conference. So, sir, there were two parts which I think are important for any kind of a disease. Like one is prevention and another is detection. So as a prevention, I think IoT for prevention of this disease, this COVID-19, IoT can play a major role. Like Regina ma'am said, there can be some sensor-based devices which can be used to, so IoT, I think IoT platform can be used to prevent this disease. And second part is the detection of the disease. So detection, for the detection of this COVID-19, so machine learning, I think it is one of the most suitable thing which can be used. So in machine learning, like I was just having an idea yesterday, just reading certain research paper. In that, what they were doing, they were doing what, like we have Arogya Setu app and like COVA app by Punjab government also. So in that, what we can do, we can use their data, like, because in artificial intelligence, data is a fuel and AI is an engine. So what we can do, we can make certain APIs, and through those APIs we can take the data from those apps, and that data can be trained by machine and used to predict, like for example, if I'm saying some containment zone is there in like or green zone in there is in some region. So we can apply AI techniques and we can predict when this green zone can be go into the red zone by analyzing the previous data from that particular zone. So these types of solutions, which every university, I think all over the world, they are working on these kinds of solutions. What they are doing, they are making the data set, and they are using the API through API calls. They are picking the data and applying machine learning models, like supervised machine learning models, to predict when certain things can happen. So this way, the AI, I think AI can play a major role in prediction of the disease. So I think some delegates have presented papers on prostate detection, and so these ideas can be transformed into this COVID-19 pandemic also. So this is all from my side. So now I request certain students from our BTech. One student is, I think Kanishk is there. He was discussing certain idea with me. Kanishk, are you there? Kanishk, are you there?
Kanishk Sahu is there. Please unmute your mic. Kanishk Sahu. Now the second student, Arsh, are you there? Please unmute
Hello.
your.
Good morning, sir.
Kanishk,
Arsh here.
please, Arsh, please carry on.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. First of all, sir, I was thinking of some tunnel type which we have seen in today's nowadays news. Like everyone is applying a tunnel in crowded areas, sanitization tunnel. And sir, I was thinking of an automatic tunnel. We can use that tunnel, apply that tunnel on the main gate of our university. And when someone will enter our university, that sanitizer will automatically turn on. And from here, we can make a check on how many people will enter our university, and also they should be sanitized. So this was a raw idea. I was thinking yesterday, and we can work on it to improve it.
Now I request Dr. Navdeep Soni to please share his views on the solutions for COVID-19.
Good morning, everyone. So I would like to discuss it with the help of a presentation. So I've made a very small presentation. So let me show it to you.
Navdeep, please increase your sound, please.
Hello, is it
Yes,
audible
yes,
now?
Now it's audible.
Okay, sir. So I've just made a small presentation regarding the AI capabilities. So as far as AI capabilities is concerned, I have one project idea which can be taken into consideration, and that is about the testing of the patients about the coronavirus. So I'll begin with the testing part. So in the contemporary system, what we are doing is we are testing the patients with the help of either swab test, which usually take 5 to 7 days. Either the results are obtained within 5 to 7 days. Then there is sputum test, again 5 to 7 days. And then the third one is the blood test, which is RT-PCR test, in which the results are obtained in like 2 days or maybe more than 2 days. So when we talk about the contemporary system, there are certain drawbacks associated with it. The first drawback is that this sputum test or the swab test is very uncomfortable for the patient, and it may sometimes it leads to the bleeding inside the nasal or the throat. So another drawback is, like I already discussed, it is very time consuming. It generally takes like between 2 to 7 days in order to obtain the results. So again, it is it takes a lot of time. The third drawback is the test is very costly, especially if we talk about the RT-PCR test. So this cost is a huge burden on our healthcare system. And another drawback is that the RT-PCR tests are, their availability is very less. So even though Indian government is trying hard to, create these RT-PCR test kits, but still the availability of these test kits is less. And also they are very costly. So these are some of the drawbacks of the contemporary system. So what we can do is we can use AI for the testing purposes. So when we talk about the AI systems, we can use AI to diagnose whether a particular patient is affected by the coronavirus or not. So as far as the benefits of AI-based system is concerned over the contemporary system is, some of the major benefits are like it is not invasive in nature, So it means we do not require any sputum test or swab test. It means there is no need to put any needle or kind of thing inside the nose or the throat to take out the sputum or the swab for the testing purposes. What we can do is we can simply take the CT scans or the X-rays of the patients. Now these CT scans or the X-rays, along with certain clinical information of the patient, such as the age of the patient, the sex of the patient, and the symptoms of the patient, we can combine this data in order to obtain the results. In order to obtain the results such as like whether the person is COVID positive or negative. So this in itself is a very, very, it will be a bigger achievement if we can do this, right? So the other very major benefit of using AI for the testing purposes is it is very, very cost effective, because now we'll only be, needing a system which will already be trained, and will simply give it the CT scans or certain clinical information, and it will predict whether a person is positive or negative. Another very bigger benefit of this AI-based system is it is very, very fast, because it will give the results within a minute, or I mean in minutes or seconds. So rather than waiting for 2 to 3 days, we'll get the results very fast. So based on these major benefits, there are certain other benefits, like if we are able to know about the condition of the person, whether that person is positive or negative, we can start an early treatment, and it may lead it may save a person from life-threatening situations. Another benefit is it will give a timely information to the government. If somebody is affected or somebody is positive, it will give timely information to the government for contact tracing, and containing the areas where that person was or the patient was living, and thus it will also help us in controlling the spread of the disease. So these are some of the benefits of using or creating an AI-based system over the contemporary system. So this is one of my idea. Thank you.
Thank you, Navdeep sir, for sharing such wonderful ideas, and I hope that some concrete solution will come out from your ideas. Now
Definitely.
I request our very good student Kanishka Sahu to share his ideas on making some models or concrete solutions on COVID-19 solutions. Now Kanishka Sahu. Kanishka Sahu, you can please start. Kanish, your voice is not audible. Kanishka, your sound is not audible. Now the Kanishka voice is not audible. Now let's invite anyone who wants to share his or her views on the solutions of COVID-19. Any student? Now I request the student.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Okay, Manit, you please carry on.
Yes, sir. So, like SMO ma'am said, that to break the chain, we need some solution, right? To break the further extension of this virus. So, one thing that can be done is install through Arogya Setu, we can take the contact permission, so that we can contact them like robotic voice, like it is done while we travel through railway. They ask for our feedback and other stuff. So just like that, we can create an automatic software that will call all the contact list, all the members of the contact list in the affected person's contact book, so that we can trace out easily. It would be like one step reducing the spread. to know if the person is affected or not. So to break the chain, one thing that can be done is that the AI voice tell them that yes, your known has been affected. If you have some symptoms, then we gather their feedback on the symptoms, that yes, I have this symptom, yes, I have this symptoms. So according to that, since we cannot determine exactly without testing, so with the help of AI, this would reduce our one step. This will bring us one step closer to detecting whether the person is affected or not. So rather than confining the whole area, so it's better to call them automatically, and this would prove the effect. This will increase the effectiveness as well.
Thank you, Mani. Thank you for such a good solution. And I hope that you people will be developing some app for tracing all the people who are in contact with the symptomatic person. Now, Kanishka Sahu, are your voice is ready? Kanishka Sahu. Now, anyone else who wants to share his or her views on the solutions of COVID-19, please come forward. This is a discussion platform, so anybody can give his or her ideas. Please come forward with the solutions. There is one student, Jashan. Jashan, are you there? Jashan, please unmute yourself. Jashan. Any faculty members who wants to say something about the solutions of the COVID-19 through AI and machine learning? And delegates? Robin, you please share your views now.
Hello.
Yes, audible, Robin, you carry on.
Sorry, sir. So I'm Jashan. So there was some
Okay, Jashan.
sound issue, so I was not able to contact you before. So actually, as we were talking about the AI solution,
Now I request our senior professor, Dr. Lakhvinder Kaur, to share her views on the solutions of COVID-19. Dr. Lakhvinder Kaur.
Very good morning to all. Nothing is impossible in the world. Everything is possible. So COVID-19 is the biggest challenge to the researchers. And this is just not a challenge. It will give a new directions, because every problem gives a new directions to the researchers. Definitely we will find the solutions and find the new directions also. And just telemedicine, we can develop a telemedicine system such a way by incorporating AI and machine learning tools, IoT based algorithms for caring the patients remotely. So and this will definitely, researchers are working on the optimization techniques also. By using a COVID-19 algorithms, researchers have already developed. These can be used in every area for finding the optimized solution. And it will also help police computer-aided algorithms, especially image processing algorithms, will help the police departments also to identify to sense the gatherings, and where there are violation of like sanitizer is not used, we can use this processing techniques to sense that, and where distance is not properly maintained. So this way, technology will definitely help the government also and for prevention of this for the public also. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Lakwinder, for sharing your valuable suggestions. And I hope that under your leadership, we will definitely make some concrete project, as you are the expert in the field of image processing, and this will help a lot in developing such solutions. So now I think Kanishka Sahu is ready. Kanishka, you please give your solution.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir, for giving me a chance to share my ideas and view to contribute to the society. Now I am going to present my idea, and I am going to presenting my screen. Wait, sir. Okay, so basically, sir, idea is to create an automatic SEG machine. So what is the SEG machine? SEG machine is a screening and entry gate, an IoT-based project to detect the coronavirus suspect using automatic thermal scanning and real-time data. My name is Kanik Sahu. I am the student of BTech CSE, third year. And so now the first question comes up, what is thermal scanning? So basically thermal scanning is a process to detect the fever, to check the fever of the suspect. Thermal scanning is the process of detecting radiation. The amount of radiation emitted by an object increase with temperature. Therefore, thermography allow one to see variation in the temperature. If someone has a fever, thermal scanning will allow detecting them and they can further be tested for the coronavirus. So what actually automatic SEG is? So automatic SEG is the machine, or we can say the device we can put on the entry points where the person is entering in the room or where the person is entering in the building. It can automatically check. Hello. Is it audible, sir?
Yes, it's audible.
Okay. Okay. So the automatic SEG is the automatic device we can put on the entry points, and every person need to be checked by the machine. If normal temperature found, it will open the entry. Otherwise, it will block the entry for the particular person and inform the authority about the suspect. So how this automatic SEG is working? Let's take a scenario where a human body is coming into the automatic SEG machine contact. So SEG machine detect by its sensors or a camera. If the person's report is positive, so it will give no entry and contact with the authorities, as you can see on the figure, and save the real-time data with the images and the profile picture of the suspect to the server, and we can see the data in the client side application. And if the report gives the negative, it will give the entry and repeat the process again and again. So for the particularly this start, it will take at least 30 seconds. So and now we compare the machine to the traditional thermal scanning, where traditional thermal scanning takes about 1 minute to check and test the report of the patient, but the automatic SEG machine will take only 30 seconds to check the process, to check the human. So we can put this machine to the entry point of the different gates. Now see the design of the SEG machine. So you can see it is like the basically metal detector machine, where the controller is located on the top of the machine, and camera, where the simple camera takes the image profile of the human body, and thermal camera takes the picture of a body that is the temperature radiated. And automatic entry gate will open if the report goes to negative, and if the report will go to positive, it will close the door and call the authorities. So what is the benefits of the SEG machine? So SEG machine have a no direct interaction of the human to human, saving human power and life with the SEG machine, and automatic call the authorities if suspect found, central server and client application for the real-time data, quick and easy to install in the existing location, and very low power consumption, so we can run on the battery in case of emergency. We can put this SEG machine on the department's gate. Now you can see the picture I have taken from the internet. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. This is from my side.
Thank you, Kanishka, for giving such wonderful idea. and you have already made some very good projects, and I hope that you will also develop a solution for this COVID-19 problem also.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for giving me a chance.
Thank you. Now I request our senior professor of the department, Dr. Himanshu Agarwal, to please share his ideas on the solutions of COVID-19. Dr. Himanshu Agarwal. Dr. Himanshu Agarwal, are you there? Dr. Himanshu Agarwal.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are audible.
Okay. Good morning to all of you. Hello.
Yes, yes, sir. You are audible.
Okay. As far as solutions are concerned, first and foremost thing what we can do is we can develop certain apps, especially for our students in the university and the colleges, so that the people who are coming from the different states, their travel history may be maintained, their contacts may be traced, and their even some smart card data can be used for that purpose, because nowadays these ATMs and these public places are creating a lot of problems. So for the computer science people, it is very useful if we develop few apps, and with the help of electronics and biotech people, we can really develop some useful applications in medical field, because it will need a lot of interfacing, lot of real-time data capturing and all those things. For that, an amalgamation of the technologies is much required, and for that if university is really serious about it, then they must set up some incubation center with involving people from different streams, and develop some real-time good applications in project form. That will be really good. Hello.
Thank you, Dr. Himanshu, for sharing your wonderful ideas, and we hope that the university will do the collaborative research and find some good solutions for the COVID-19. Now, I request
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Dr. Amardeep, the senior professor of the department, to share his ideas on the solutions. Dr. Amardeep, are you there? Now, any faculty member of the department, there are many faculty members who are working on AI and machine learning and the image processing areas. So please come forward and share your views on the topic. Please, this is a discussion platform, and some innovative ideas are required to make some good projects. So William sir, I request you to please share your views. Dr. William. Dr. William. Yes, sir. Dr. Deshpatia, you please. Now, Dr. Batra has joined us. Now, I request Dr. Gurdeep Singh Batra, the Dean Academic Affairs of the University, to share his ideas on the solutions of the COVID-19. So, thank you for joining us, sir, and please you share your ideas.
First of all, I take this opportunity to audible?
Yes, sir. Voice is less. You please increase the volume, sir.
Okay. So, I think this is a good initiative on the part of Department of Computer Science and Engineering to organize this international conference in the emerging area of research and study. And today's session has been organized especially to find out the solutions in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. So what I feel is that at this moment, as I spoke yesterday, that digital learning for the student, digital teaching, e-learning of the student is becoming very important. To what extent we are able to reach the students, those who are in the remote areas. So for this purpose, we need to find a solution, that is how to reach the unreachable, the students, those who are in the villages, are in the other states also, how we can get them connected, those who are staying in the other states of India, those who are doing different programs from us. So because this is one of the, whenever we have been talking about holding the mid-semester test or online or some submission of the assignments, these queries have been coming from the students. I think for this purpose, we need to find out the more solutions in this regard, maybe by establishing the central facilities, video conferencing servers, and in order to, so that less people visit our administrative offices, we are thinking in terms of the e-office facility, e-governance facilities for and how to establish the e-office or e-governance. That mechanism is also very important. When the Vice Chancellor Sahab has joined, he has already given this lead, and he has told us about that what are the challenges faced in this regard, and in the wake of COVID, as far as administrative teaching and research infrastructure is concerned. And so he is giving academic leadership in this regard. I am sure that under his leadership will be able to come forward with so many solutions, and Department of Computer Science and Engineering may prepare the students to work on the different type of projects in this area. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Batra, for giving your views on the solutions and the various ideas for the COVID-19 solutions. Now I want to thank the Vice Chancellor, Dr. B.S. Guman, for sparing so much valuable time for the discussion on COVID-19 solutions. Now I request Dr. Bhatia from Punjab Engineering College, Punjab Engineering College, Chandigarh, to share his views on the solutions of COVID-19. Dr. Bhatia from Punjab Engineering College, Chandigarh.
Thank you, Professor Mani. Thank you very much. And I must congratulate your department, Punjabi University, and especially your team that who are working day and night in this difficult time to make this international conference a very, very successful event. Sir, related to this COVID-19, it's really good that you are brainstorming on this particular this topic. I would say that in this tough time, it will be very difficult for department to arrange internships and all these projects and maybe placements. Professor Himanshu really rightly mentioned that you may have any incubation center, and maybe that students can come up with the kind of apps to maintain social distancing using AI and ML. Very easily they can develop, so that in their mobile itself there will be a beep that you are not maintaining the social distance. Let it be within the university or maybe the outside of the university, so they can maintain that. So whenever they'll be in any particular mobile in that circle, in that area, because if it is less than 2 meter or 1 meter, it will be immediately, there will be a beep. And then in collaboration with psychology department, maybe that you can come up with and you can submit, your university is eligible for ICSSR proposal submission. Its last date was 15th and now it's extended. And further for COVID-19, especially under MHRD, they are inviting these projects proposals. Under that, you may plan for with psychology that in present times when we are into online teaching learning process, what kind of stress is there on students and teachers? Because it's not that easy. Because we for very long from our school days, we were into that physical in actual interface with the teacher. But now it is just because of online, and it is sometimes what happens is that in actual class for 1 hour rather than 1 hour, you spend maximum 40 to 45 minutes in actual delivering the session, delivering the lecture. But during this online, it is one way only, and we keep lecturing only, and it's a full 1 hour. And rather, when a teacher starts speaking, you know, sir, that it may be more than 1 hour. And then what kind of stress it creates for that student if it is continuously sessions are going on, and then a lot of material we upload, on maybe any of the LMS that you have created. So referring these all and listening to lectures continuously and then cope up with all the conditions outside. So what kind of stress it will create on students and teachers? It's not only that students, teachers are also stressed because of maybe lesser work or more work or the different kind of work. And you have psychology department also. We are not that blessed that we don't have psychology people, but you people have psychology. So with this psychology, you can create these all questionnaires also, and it will be very well accepted in the market also. And in incubation center, you can do that. Thank you very much, Dr. Saab. Thank you very much. And again, congratulations for having such a wonderful event. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Rajesh Bhatia, the professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Punjab Engineering College, Chandigarh. Sir, thank you so much for giving your valuable advice. And we will also take help from you for developing some projects under your leadership and attach some students with you also, sir.
Sir, anytime, most welcome with faculty or students, any kind of help or any collaborative project proposals if you want to submit, I'll be more than happy. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for such kind words. Now I request our faculty member, Dr. Ram Singh, to share his views on the solutions of the COVID-19. Dr. Ram Singh. Dr. Ram Singh, are you there? Now, any faculty member or student who wants to share his or her ideas, please come forward. Now we are running out of the time.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, Poonam, you please share your views.
Yes, sir. Good morning to all of you.
Good morning.
Sir, actually, I am a research scholar in Kurukshetra University, Kurukshetra. So I want to share some ideas. Actually, this is the fact that. Are you audible?
Yes. There is a little noise, but the things are audible. You please increase the volume.
Okay, sir. Okay. Actually, sir, I want to share some views on COVID-19 and using AI in COVID-19. As education and health sectors are the two pillars of any country. So, but I want to put some light on some ground level implementation on the hospitals in this case. So I have seen that I am working on sentiment analysis, and I want to do analysis on healthcare data, and I am finding the I am finding the difficulty in the data set, healthcare data set in India basically. Actually, there are many hospitals in India, and most of the hospitals are not computerized manner, are not running in the computerized manner. All the data, all the forms are filled by the pen or paper. That it is very difficult to collect the data on these in this manner. So I think the things should be in computerized manner so that we can maintain the proper data set for the hospital. Also, one thing more, if the hospital, pharmacies, diagnosis and medical equipments, medical insurance, telemedicine sectors work in the coordinated manner, then it can be easily found that to find the solution for these problems. And then if we talk about the ground level changes in the hospital, then first thing we must do, that is to make a computerized system in all the hospitals, and so that every patient data should be online and it can be easily accessed by any hospitals in the India, whether the patient is anywhere. So as we are seeing in the today scenario, persons are moving from here to there, and it is very difficult to find any person who is detecting with this particular diseases or not. And so it's difficult to find the particular person who is getting the treatment which needs treatment. So I want to put the light on the collection of data set in the computerized manner, so that things should be properized, it should be implemented in proper way, because data is the fuel of the AI and machine learning and data science also. So before applying this technique, there should be authenticated data set so that these techniques should be successfully applied on the particular data set. Thank you all this. This is from my side.
Thank you, Poonam. Thanks for your idea. It's time to conclude this session. So I would just like to conclude it with a small idea, because we all know that there are a lot of government as well as private organizations who are taking the biometric attendance with the help of fingerprints, thumb impressions. So as of now, we know that after the coronavirus, that attendance has also been stopped. So a project, a AI-based face recognition project can be developed which do not require any person to go to any camera or to punch out somewhere or press his or her finger somewhere. So the person will go and will just pass through the gate, and there will be some cameras along with some thermal scanners who can evaluate their body temperature, as well as it can detect the face of the person and can mark the attendance of the person. So I think that thing can be developed, and as per my knowledge, DRDO is also working to provide some of the solutions like that. So if somebody is working in image processing, so he or she may work in that area also. So I think that is the need of the time and will be useful in future also. So with this, I would like to conclude this session. So thank you everyone. Thanks for sharing your valuable ideas. So we will try to summarize them in paper format, and then we'll share. So I hope you people will keep on working on these ideas. So now the sessions have been started. So now you can leave this particular session and log into your respective session with your session chairs. Thank you everyone. Thanks a lot.